The headlines. Donald Trump is due in court on Thursday after he was indicted on 4 charges related to alleged attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. The fallout of a military coup in Niger continues. The World Bank has now stopped all disbursements until further notice. A gunman who killed 11 people at a synagogue in Pittsburgh in 2018 is sentenced to death. Now we have a special report from a town in northern India which has been hit by religious violence. And Typhoon Kanoon hits Okinawa Islands in Japan. We speak to a storm chaser.
Fitch downgrades the United States long-term credit rating, citing the brinkmanship on Capitol Hill. And Grammy Award-winning singer Lizzo is accused of creating a hostile work environment by 3 former dancers. Ukraine's deputy prime minister says a Russian drone attack has damaged 40,000 tons of grain planned for China, Israel, and countries in Africa. Ukraine's defense ministry says a grain silo was damaged in the Danube port of Izmail in the Odessa region. As Ukraine sustains attacks from Russia on the ground, it's also battling a second front in the form of Russian propaganda. Moscow has used disinformation to try to win hearts and minds for nearly a decade, but such propaganda has become increasingly targeted. Now it's homing in on Ukraine's frontline female soldiers.
Now, a vast amount of medical research in the United States and indeed around the world has been carried out on lab-grown human cells from a single sample taken from a cancer patient more than 70 years ago. Lives of patients with polio, HIV and sickle cell anemia have been saved. But the original donor, Henrietta Lacks, was never told her cells had been taken. Well, now a lab company has agreed an undisclosed financial settlement with her family. Altogether, 50 million tons of those cells have been produced.
Henrietta Lacks' cells changed the course of medical science long after her death from cervical cancer in 1951, but they were taken without her consent. On what would have been her 103rd birthday, her family finally reached a settlement with the biotech firm responsible.